It's that time of year again. It's the holiday season, but really what it's all about, it's about that good eating, that good food.
It's that time of year that I'm looking for some silverware. Look at this. We're going to be talking about tradition and, of course, tasting some of that great food.
He's hungry.
Welcome to another edition of commUNITY. I'm Pete Gallivan.
And I'm Claudine Ewing. Food is such a rich tradition, especially in African-American households. So that's why we came to Fat Cats, one of the best soul food restaurants in the city of Buffalo.
And the Irish like to eat as well. I'll tell you that. They're making chicken and waffles for us right now. I can't wait for that. We'll have more on that in a moment. But right now, I'm going to introduce you to a man and an organization who has made it his life mission to bring not only fresh fruits and vegetables to the inner city, but also fresh hope.
It took a personal health issue to give Alex Wright the vision.
I was going in for neck surgery on my spine, and you start thinking about, legacy and mortality and what's going to happen.
And now that vision is becoming a reality.
And again, it's going to be an open market thing too. So
Alex is in the process of opening his first brick and mortar stores of the African Heritage Food Co-op.
We've been able to develop what people want and what the types of products, that go in our neighborhoods.
Alex grew up on the east side of Buffalo, but was lucky enough to attend Nichols School through a program called Buffalo Prep. He then went on to UB Law School, but he always wanted to give back and help to build a better community. So he formed the co-op in August of 2016 in order to address the urgent need for fresh and affordable foods in East Buffalo, but also to instill a pride of member ownership, as well as an opportunity for employment.
People put in $30. We started with 30 families. And we were doing that once a month. And then we started doing mobile markets.
And that was so successful and needed, he's now taken that next step. He's rented out space here at the Niagara Frontier Food Terminal in the Clinton Bailey neighborhood of Buffalo, and he is also expanding into Niagara Falls at the corner of Highland and Center.
When you look around this neighborhood, you get a sense of pride, accomplishment, hope.
I have a strong sense of hope, but I also put a lot of pressure on myself and on our team. So it's like we feel a little pride from the little that we've been able to do so far,
right.
But this is nothing to what we're trying to do.
What they're doing is restoring a grocery to this old building and this neighborhood.
This was Brown's grocery store. Yeah, Mr. Brown used to chase the kids off of the chains there who were swinging back and forth.
He's starting small in just this half of the building with plans to gradually expand into the rest. He knew right away that this location was perfect because of what is still here.
They don't make them like this anymore.
The plan is to have this location up and running in February and the Buffalo space open to members as early as next month. Alex says this project is not only about making people more healthy, but also about building healthy communities.
If we can support ourselves and if we have self-sufficiency, people are putting guns down.
I said to him, "What do I need to do?" And he looked at me very starkly and said, "Lose weight."
During the holiday season, you probably aren't thinking about how what's on your plate is impacting your weight. But just ahead on commUNITY, this man's story may have you rethinking your holiday meal.
Welcome back. It is so great to see people and organizations making such a difference when it comes to healthy food options in the inner city, because you know as well as I know that a lot of the food options you find in African-American homes can often lead to some health complications.
You're right, and some of those health issues we're talking about, diabetes and hypertension, and one local man was forced to make some changes.
I love cake, pie, cookies, you name it, I love it.
Keinzer Pointer is not shy about how he loves to chow down on Thanksgiving.
Traditionally, I would really be stoked right about now. Sweet potato pie. My absolute weakness on earth is bread dressing. Friday, leftovers? Are you kidding me? I'd be right there. And I would really be trying to stretch that all the way to Sunday.
That was then. Now he's making a change.
About 6 months ago, I had a health issue that I needed to deal with. One of the things that became very glaring during that process was that, I was carrying this extra weight. and that it wasn't sustainable for the long haul. If I intend to be here,
He's lost over 60 pounds, and he says this Thanksgiving he will be a spectator, eliminating old unhealthy habits.
I will not have any potato pie. I won't be eating cakes. I won't be eating 5 yeast rolls. I will, though, have a portion of bread dressing. There are some things that you have to, and you can do almost anything in moderation.
You mentioned the key word, it's moderation, but hypertension, diabetes, those are scary things, or can be.
They are scary things. You said it right the first time. They're scary things because they lead to other health conditions that can be catastrophic.
He has an eye on health as chair of the board for Millennium Collaborative Care.
I would advocate that every primary care physician stop saying, just be honest. Stop telling people you're pre-diabetic. Just tell them the truth. In a couple days, I'm gonna prescribe insulin because you're already there. You are overweight. People don't wanna have that conversation, but physicians need to be honest with us.
It happened to him.
Love handles sound good. The truth is, it's just flab. Stop telling your husband, oh, sweetheart, you have really wonderful love handles. Tell your husband, lose the gut. Tell him the truth, because the truth will keep him around.
His clothes are a bit too big since making lifestyle changes, including no sugary drinks.
I intend to be here for my grandchildren.
Kaiser Pointer has made life changes in his diet, and he's being candid about it. And one doctor is upfront about what she's seeing. So let's check in with Dr. commUNITY Davis.
Let's see, 175, not too bad, right?
Well, if you put both feet on, let's see what the real deal is.
I think, no. Oh, well, it's the holiday season.
Yeah,
It's time to be jolly, right?
Exactly. Dr. Davis, you have to see this a lot, especially now because people are ready to eat a lot of food. And there are some traditional meals that African Americans especially like, and all people, may not be so good for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. This time of the year, this and any other holiday, especially Thanksgiving, because this is definitely one of those holidays that most people celebrate. It never fails. If you are the doctor on call after Thanksgiving, oh, you're getting a call. Turkey, the sweet potato pies, pumpkin pies, collard greens, chitlins.
Wait. Collard greens, I want. Pumpkin pie, you want. So,
right.
I want collard greens too.
Okay, you want collard greens
Yeah,
too?
you hit on the whole menu. That was fantastic.
Yes. Sometimes when people are cooking, they boil their water, they throw salt in there, right?
Yep.
And they throw in the greens or whatever they're cooking, and they throw more salt in, and they plate it, and then somebody else salts it. By that time, it's way too much salt.
We talk about, obviously, weight gain, that's an issue, and a lot of these vanity type of things.
Yeah.
But I've heard in the past that emergency rooms get calls on holidays because people will start having physical reactions to the overload of salt.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so that's a big component, because I like to tell my patients, wherever salt goes, water goes. So there's particular groups that you really have to be careful for. So people who have like congestive heart failure, they really can't handle all of that water. And so you're sitting there and you're eating portion sizes. People aren't really good with portion sizes, so when you have that second and third helping, and then the next day.
So if it fits on the plate, that's not the portion control you want?
Yeah, that's not how.
Because I figured just get a bigger plate.
But diabetes, that one's important. It's the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates and the sugar, so that pumpkin pie, that sweet potato pie, those things have a lot of sugar in it. And you think, oh, it's just one day. Oh, it's just another day. Well, that's within 12 to 48 hours after consuming a Thanksgiving feast, you can start to have physiological responses.
So let's talk about some healthy alternatives to making some of these traditional dishes, but making them on the healthier side.
You know what? I always tell my patients the first step is trying to re-envision your Thanksgiving. And just because we change the recipe a little bit, it may be a little different than your grandmama's, recipe, but that's okay. It doesn't take your ethnicity away, right? And so using things like low-fat milk, lower cholesterol, Understanding that for salt is a preservative, so we actually preserve food with salt, so really reading those labels. They actually recently changed the guidelines, and so really they're looking at for your total salt content about anywhere between 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams. And really, when you think about that, for a day, it's really a little less than a teaspoon of salt. I think, especially knowing that cardiovascular disease is one of the top 3 killers here in the U.S., cholesterol is a big component of it. And then I have to interject my bias here with chitlins.
That's right. Talk about that, because have you had chitlins?
Have you had chitlins?
Have you?
My mom,
Be honest.
Yes,
Have you?
my mom grew up in the South, so I've had a lot of Southern cooking.
Not your mom. You.
Yourself.
No, I've had them. Yes,
did
I
you
haven't
like
made
them?
them. No, no,
See?
I didn't.
Now here's the thing. Do you like the smell?
Not really.
See?
I have no sense of smell though, so
Oh, okay. It's not.
I haven't had them in years.
So chitlins are kind of high in cholesterol. So when you think about just 3 ounces of chitlins, about 250, 270 on the cholesterol scale, you're about 80% of your total cholesterol for the day. Maybe using poultry that's lower, like turkey, maybe smoked meats. Those are maybe different alternatives.
Yeah. Well, when I make greens, I'll throw in a ham hock about this size.
Or smoked
But
turkey you can use.
smoked
Right.
turkey.
Smoked
that-
turkey is a
I
better
never,
alternative.
I never think of that alternative.
And it's actually really good.
It's about lifestyle modifications.
If you drink a glass of water before you start eating, right, and just doing the conversational piece, the whole fellowship part of eating, actually allows time for your body to realize that you're full, so you don't overeat. And really just enjoy the time with your family. Talk while you're eating, so that your brain knows that, hey, I'm full.
Dr. Davis, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
I
Good
appreciate it.
information. Coming up on Community, I'm holding the sax, a little music for your soul. That's coming up. Not only is food good for the soul, but so is music, something that makes you move just a little bit. Okay, really, what are you doing?
I don't know. We both went to performing arts, but
Yes, we did.
I don't move much. I wasn't a dance major.
But someone who does know about music for the soul is a local artist. His name is Will Holton, and his story, very, very interesting.
Buffalo saxophonist Will Holton. You would think he has been playing from childhood. Not. In high school at Buffalo Traditional, he was heavily involved in JROTC. Then,
Senior year, I started playing saxophone. I was heavily involved with my church.
at Villa Maria College, he studied jazz performance.
So I had, some good influences around me on the, as we say, other side of Maine or technical realm, But mine was definitely on the street, hanging out with cats, getting shouted at on stage, lay out.
Which means you're playing too much. Let the vocalist or band breathe. Holton played many gigs for free, and his confidence, well, it started to grow.
You said, what's your plan? What do you want to do? I said, I want to be me, and I want to be national, as a solo artist.
And just think, this music career really wasn't in the cards. Plus, a few obstacles.
Starting late, and in my jaw structure, I have a class 3 underbite. Not supposed to be able to play saxophone. Well, having reconstructive surgery because of my bite.
Will Holton's first big opportunity came from jazz phenom Najee. And just think, he didn't even know Najee's music. When Holton was passing out flyers for Najee's upcoming performance, Najee found out and invited Holton to his show.
He says to me, bring your horn tonight, man. Come sit in with me. And it was crazy because he introduced me on stage that night like I was his friend for like 20 years.
Music, what does it do for you?
Your identity, your soul is coming through an instrument to people. I can play straight ahead jazz. I've played straight ahead jazz at the Soho every first Wednesday. We play straight ahead jazz. You know, standards, you know, Miles Davis.
December 1st, Holton will put on a holiday smooth jazz concert at the Trout. He'll be joined by trumpeter Brian Freeman, guitarist Tim Bowman, and singer Carlton Wilcox.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find love within. I came back to let you know I got a thing for you and I can't let go.
For Holton, even though he entered the music game late, he has advice for the youngsters.
The thing you most likely thought you wouldn't do will be something that you'll be great at. And sometimes people try to deter you. So don't be deterred. Don't give up. You know, it's real simple. At one time I wanted to stop because of ridicule when I was first starting, and I didn't. And if I would have stopped, I wouldn't have met so many great people.
And you wouldn't be doing what you love.
Absolutely.
Why do you love the music?
Oh, I do. I love writing. I love writing and, you know, just being able to, like I said, be a doctor to people, change the vibe, you know, make it peaceful, make people excited.
Holton is now 38 years old.
I don't put time on things, and when it's the right time, it is the right time, you know, and that's the goal, to keep pushing.
From music for the soul to food for the soul, we're eating good here on Community.
You put a lot of your heart in it and your soul. My dressing, I made it by scratch because I watched my mom make it for years.
Next on Community, we take you behind the scenes at one of Buffalo's best soul food restaurants.
The name definitely grabbed the customers, and the food puts the topping on it.
All right, time to get some eating on.
Yes, how are you guys?
It's Pete and Claudine. We are at Fat
Hi,
Cats on
guys.
Kensington.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm just wonderful.
So thank you for letting us come into your kitchen.
Oh, you're so very welcome. Glad to have you all.
That chicken looks and smells good enough to do bobbing for chicken right now.
Yeah, listen, this is the best chicken and waffles. This is our chicken breast.
Chicken and waffles is Thanksgiving brunch.
I come from a family of 9 kids, 2 sets of twins, 5 singles, huge family. My mother cooked a lot, always, a lot of food, tons of food. Cooking for the holidays was so big for our family. So much of food everywhere. People, all the people come over, all friends, family. My mother always had a crowd at her house for Thanksgiving, any of the holidays.
What was on the menu?
Homemade dressing, turkey, ham, prime rib roast, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, yams. The southern foods, we had coconut pineapple cake, sweet potato pie.
Let's talk about the dressing.
You put a lot of your heart in it and your soul. My dressing, I made it by scratch because I watched my mom make it for years. Not measure anything to make homemade cornbread. And then all the fixings, the peppers, the onions, the celery, you know, the turkey, the chicken, the seasoning from the broth, you have to use all that to make your dressing come out right.
Yep. And when you're making it, even today, what's going through your head?
I'm thinking about when I was a child and we were growing up and we woke up to that smell, that delicious, delicious smell of turkey and dressing.
It's a huge part of any ethnic community, African American community in particular.
Absolutely, it is. It brings families together. Everybody has their own tradition with food. Different dishes is passed down, you know, from generations and generations. I make my grandmother's macaroni and cheese.
So can you tell us anything about that recipe?
Well, yeah. I use 4 different cheeses. In the macaroni and cheese, you have Velveeta, you have Colby Jack and cheddar, you have American and sharp cheddar. And the secret to that is putting a little sugar. and the macaroni and cheese.
It has to taste good, right?
Yes.
And you will know if
absolutely.
it doesn't taste good.
Absolutely.
But in your household, it always tastes
It's
good.
always. Smothered turkey wings and gravy, dressing, collard greens, fried chicken, some more fried chicken, and we have a couple desserts for you all.
I just popped the belt loop, just you talking.
Well, you're going to need that.
So what are we going to have today?
Today I have prepared chicken and waffles.
That looks so good, yes.
This is chicken and waffles. Are you kidding me? I
Thank
didn't
you
even
so
know they
much.
did this here at Batcast, but I'm going to take it. What do you think? Ready to dig in?
Yes, I am.
Well, while Pete is digging in, this is what community is all about. It's about celebrating the great people, the great places like Batcats right here in Western New York, but we also tackle some of those tough issues.
And the great chicken, too. Yeah. We want to hear from you. Reach out to Claudine or myself on social media or at WGRZ.com. You can do that right after I eat.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of Community, and we hope that this season is wonderful for you as you spend time with your family and your friends, and remember, that's what community is all about. We'll see you next time.
Eat.
I am going to eat right now.